old school or a hardcore gamer like me, wouldn't really care
for a hardcore gamer, as you claim as to be yourself, you really just been bitching about analog stick and basically graphics. Yeah, that's totally a real hardcore gamer.
the touch screen. I mean, you're touching a screen that's completely different to what you do on older systems. It's basically an alternative control. But now they have the analog stick, they're basically stolen that from the PSP.
Jesus, kid, it's just basically they just basically replaced the D-pad. Like the PSP, you have a D-pad and an analog stick. Not really a rip-off. I already said why it's not a rip-off. And you know what, dude? First-person shooters are difficult to do on a PSP because it has one analog stick. It's pretty bad aim on a PSP. If we had a second analog stick, we'd be good. Like, that would be awesome. But no, we don't. So first-persons are hard to play on a freaking PSP. Same problem happened to the Dreamcast. First-persons are bad on the Dreamcast because it doesn't have a second analog stick. That's why people bought keyboards and mouse for the Dreamcast, so they can play Unreal Tournament online with no control problems.
Yes, so in my opinion the 3DS is basically just a rip-off of the PSP.
Of all the points he made why it's a rip-off, it's just because of the fucking analog stick.
Basically stolen some of the stuff that make the PSP unique from the PSP, if you know what I mean, and put it on their console.
Yes, because, you know, it has an analog stick. Yeah, I mean, it's really shitty, man. That just sucks.
Come on, Nintendo, why'd you have to keep stealing ideas?
Oh no, you know. I'm gonna go a little further in this DualShock bullshit. All right. I mean, in the '80s, we sort of had a an analog stick. I mean, in television, the Atari 5200, I think, had like a somewhat kind of analog stick. They weren't really analog sticks, but back at the time, it was sort of like it. Then another step back in the '90s. Now, usually we had D-pads, but in 1996, June 10th, I don't know. I think it was June something, because I looked it up just before I did this. Basically, the N64 analog stick came first, like during the 5th generation, not the Saturn. People are getting confused. I even checked this out to make sure it was true or not. Basically, the analog stick on the N64 came first. A month later, Saturn comes with the analog stick for the Knights. A year later, PS1 controller has 2 analog sticks. Like, I don't know, doesn't that seem like a coincidence? You know, I mean, N64 has 1. Then you guys add 2 analog sticks. Then now let's step back in the year 2010, and in September, what's coming out? PlayStation Move. And what does that look like? I don't know. Maybe the Wii. I don't know. The remote just reminds me of something.
Why'd you have to keep stealing ideas from other companies? The analog stick. PSP had that before the DS.
So, they at least try to make an original touch on it. I mean, at least it actually looks like an analog stick. So, if the PSP had an analog stick before the DS, so not really a huge rip-off. I mean, they don't even look identical. They look totally different.
And why the touchscreen? Why do you need a touchscreen? The touchscreen is just made.
It makes the game better for first-person shooters, something that is terrible on the PSP. And also, sometimes it makes the game interactive and it makes it better. Ever thought about that?
Made out of cheap plastic. So yeah, this has been my video of why I would not buy a Nintendo 3DS, because
kid, you really need to write scripts, and so you can stop stuttering and actually can get to the fucking point.
It still sucks. I mean, even though it's a later generation than the PSP.
You claim it sucks because of the graphics. You know, it's better on the it's better than PSP graphics, and it ripped off PSP supposedly of the analog stick. Yet, even though the PlayStation ripped off Nintendo 64 analog stick, yeah, real clever, dude. Oh, and saying it sucked, even though it's not out yet. Yeah, do you think that's fair? That you think it sucks, even though it's not out yet? That is totally unfair.
It still sucks. They have improved the DS, well, the 3DS somewhat by making their graphics a bit more 3D. That's why it's called the 3DS. But the PSP's graphics are 3D as well. And
okay, when they mean 3D, they mean actual 3D shit coming out of the screen, not third dimension, you idiot. Actual 3D effects coming out of the screen so you can see it. Not third dimension games, you idiot. Get it right. The DS has third dimension games also, like Resident Evil and Sonic Rush. Oh, it's Mario 64 DS. I love that game.
I don't think they've improved it enough to beat the PSP. Okay, well, this was my video opinion of why I do not want the Nintendo 3DS, and well, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.
Alright, final words on this video. Well, clearly this guy only made like 2 points. He's trying to make 2 points, saying the graphics sucks. Actually, well, 3 points. I think he's saying that there weren't enough hardcore games on it, and said it ripped off Sony and the graphics sucked, or worse than the PSP. Honestly, your argument is really shit. And dude, really, write a script when you're doing your rants, so you won't stutter and you can actually remember what you're saying. So I guess we have 3 more videos left now. Great.